Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Salute to my freedom marchers, freedom lovers, freedom family, freedom fighters. Salute to y'all. Hold on just a second. Yo. Freedom marchers, freedom family, freedom lovers, and freedom fighters. Salute to Kelvin Black in the building and Brother Slim Hussein. Salute to y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your boy, Snapzilla Gorilla, hitting you all upside the head with this morning paper. Yeah, we're going to get into this. Back on the Charlie Kirk case. We're going to talk about it a little bit. There's, man, they are really taking advantage of this Charlie Kirk situation to try to infringe upon the freedoms of individuals. And yeah, I told y'all this was going to happen. It was pretty obvious, man. I mean, if you look at history and you look at patterns and you look at how these tyrants operate, they always use a tragedy to further infringe, to further strip you of your rights. And it's only because we allow them to do so, right? I'm going to keep driving that home. The only way a tyrant is able to operate is that the people that they are tyrannizing allow it. That's it. We allow it, they're going to continue, right? And so this is what it is. We are responsible at the end of the day for taking our freedoms back. Like, they're not going to give them back to us. Let's just so y'all understand. They are not going to give us our freedoms back, right? They're going to try to increase the infringements. They are going to try to take more freedoms away. This is how they operate. They're not going to give them back, right? We have to take them. We have to insist that they leave us the fuck alone so that we can live our lives as we see fit. And then you have the bad faith actors out there that are in the pocket. They present themselves as one of you, but really at the end of the day, they're likely just grifters and shills. You know, they are, and they're not shilling for the right cause, right? They're not shilling for freedom, even though they talk about that, and they bring you information and all that. It's very disappointing, right? And so, but these are the people with the loudest voices. They have the loudest voices in the furthest reach, right? And they actively push statism and belief in government onto you, right? They don't want you to question the government. This is just the bottom line. And so we have to be careful. We have to be diligent. We have to be vigilant. Vigilant. We got to be vigilant. And one such, in my opinion, bad faith actor is, whether he actually is deliberately being a bad faith actor or not, Stephen Gardner. For those of you who aren't familiar with Stephen Gardner, salute to Realize in the building. Salute to you, Queen. If you're not familiar with Stephen Gardner, he is a YouTuber. He's a right-wing conservative YouTuber. He's one of those guys. And I actually came across his channel for the first time in 2020. And he was going over, he's a finance guy. He's a financial guy. Now, there has been a complete shift and change in his content. You know, when COVID-19 was going on, he was talking, the government stimulus packages and, the stimulus checks. He was giving us updates on and trying to help understand what the government was doing in terms of the stimulus checks and all that shit. Like, he was basically mostly finance. I didn't really see a lot of right-wing, like the content he's putting out now, man, it's crazy. Whereas before, Salute, Marcy. I should be back. Let me know if I'm back, guys. Give me a Romeo, Lima, Charlie, per usual. Fucking shit. Anyway. All right, thank you. So Stephen Gardner, like I said, he started out talking about, well, it's when I came across his channel, he really blew up talking about COVID, you know, COVID checks and the government was doing in terms of this and that. Wasn't really very political. You know, he was just basically explaining what, you know, the stimulus bills Donald Trump was signing. You know, he wasn't really on the right wing thing, right? He was just a finance guy who explaining the finances, right? And so I watched it because really good information. But now, obviously, there's been a shift. Salute to Black Spring with Autumn, y'all. Salute to you. Salute to you, Queen. Make sure you drop your link. Make sure everybody check out Black Spring with Autumn. Subscribe to her. She's going to be, you know, a lot of information in economic information in terms of world economics and what the signs are that are leading to a collapse, right? So there's going to be a financial collapse. It's already happening, right? The dollar is failing. You know, it is what it is. The dollar is shit. It's not backed by anything. People are pulling they are no longer investing in a dollar or all over the world. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens with that, right? But anyway, so now Stephen Gardner's whole shit changed, right? Now he's like one of the red pillars, I guess. One of the guys that are one of those YouTubers that are pushing the hard right wing narrative, like just the whole thing, right? Just falling right in line, you know, nothing different than all these other right wing people, right? He's a right wing content creator, right? He's very much a statist, a law and order guy. It is what it is. He's pushing the left-right paradigm lie. He's fully in the pocket for that now, and that's no different now than now that he's talking about. He's on this Charlie Kirk thing, and he clearly has a lot of access to information, or he wants you to appear he has access to information in regards to Charlie Kirk, the Charlie Kirk deletion, and he is hard set on pushing the FBI narrative and trying to convince people that there's nothing fishy about the FBI narrative. But there are a lot of things he can't explain. But at the same time, he doesn't want to entertain any other alternative. He doesn't want his audience to entertain any other alternative. So everything he does is based on trying to convince people that the FBI narrative is the narrative that you should run with. And I have a problem with that. Because, and why do I have a problem with it? Well, because the FBI narrative is ass cheeks. It doesn't make any sense. Nothing that they have put out trying to convince us that Tyler Robinson is the guy makes any fucking sense. The information that they give us to try to tell us, oh, it was a 30-06, does not make sense. They did not match. From what I understand, there is no match. The round, the bullet fragment that they found in Charlie Kirk, they have not been able to match it with the 30-06, as far as I know. Based on what a lot of people are saying that have access to the report, the coroner's report, or whatever the case may be. They haven't been able to positively match anything to a 30-06. Right? They haven't been able to do it. And the picture they show of the 30-06 they found does not match the model Mauser that they say he had. That was his father's from the World War II era, right? And so a lot of things that the FBI is putting out doesn't make any sense. But of course, it makes sense to Stephen Gardner, even though it doesn't. But he wants, and it's not just Stephen Gardner, right? It's Brandon Tatum. It's Turning Point USA, everybody involved there. It's all these people that are on that side of things that don't want you to question the government, especially because Donald Trump is the president. They don't want, no, you can't question that shit. No. So they go out of their way, especially Stephen Gardner. He is going to UVU twice. And because he went to UVU twice and saw certain things and presented certain things, which really does not answer any questions. So the information he's bringing you does not answer any questions. It doesn't point toward the FBI narrative being true. It doesn't do it at all. It does not do that. He has not presented anything that would have you question the FBI narrative, but he believes that it does, especially now that he goes out there this second time. He does this video with this other guy, and he says that Candace was wrong. Candace Owens, right? Because Candace Owens has been putting out information as well that has actually been backed up by receipts that align with this idea that the FBI narrative is not true. But he comes out and says that she's wrong with providing no evidence. But we're supposed to believe him because he went to the Utah Valley University and walked around. And, I was able to get on the roof in 10 seconds. No, no one looked up when the shot fired. What do you mean no one looked up? What are we talking about? I'm listening to what he's saying, and I'm trying to figure out where Candace Owens got it wrong. Well, what did Candace Owens say? She just giving you, she hasn't said who did or did not kill Charlie Kirk. Right? She never made any definitive statements. What she did say is that the FBI is lying. They're not telling the truth. And she has been able to bring enough information to that to the point where if you are an investigator involved in this case, you might want to look into it, but they have no interest in looking into it. So listen, no one has proved that Candace Owens is wrong about anything. So what was Candace Owens wrong about? Right? There is no evidence. There is no evidence that Candace Owens was wrong about what she presented, especially since she has presented information that aligns with what she said. But beyond that, we have to ask this question. If we're going to say, if we are a supporter of somebody like Stephen Gardner, but we have our own mind, right? If we haven't just fallen into the cult of personality and we just, I like this guy, so I'm going to just run with what he says. If we have any critical thinking skills, we would say, no, Candace Owens, how do you know Candace Owens is wrong? Nothing that you said is proven that she's wrong. And here are some of the things that he did say. He said that he got on the roof in 10 seconds, right? What? Okay. He was able to access the roof of the Losi building in 10 seconds, right? But did you take the same path to the roof as Tyler Robinson? Just because you got on the roof in 10 seconds does not mean that Tyler Robinson accessed the roof the same way you did. And when Tyler Robinson left the roof, why did he not take that 10-second route? Why did they decide to run across the entire roof and hop off the building like that? Right? And then in terms of, oh, well, why haven't we seen a video, right? Everybody wants, I want an answer to this question. Why haven't any investigator involved in the case released the video of Tyler Robinson taking a shot? Or doing what they said he did. Oh, he went up there. He took the rifle unassembled up there. He assembled it, changed his clothes, all these things. All these things they said he did on the roof. Oh, he laid down right here and took the shot. Why haven't they provided any video of this? Where is that video? Is there not a video? Is there a video? Right? Well, according to Stephen Gardner, well, it's because, you know, they're in an active investigation. If they can't, they have to keep certain things to themselves and all this, that, and the third, right? Because they don't want to destroy the prosecution and they don't want to do this and do that. Well, how is that going to destroy the prosecution's case? Is it because the video doesn't show Tyler Robinson taking any shot? And how does it affect Tyler Robinson's defense? How does it affect his defense? Here's the funny thing, right, about people having a problem with YouTubers and all these and the conspiracy theorists giving their takes or having their own theories or questioning things or going through video, going through all these things that have been presented to us. Right? Here's the problem with that. They tell us, and this is the same thing, this is the same line of bullshit that people like Stephen Gardner and Brandon Tatum and others, and also Kash Patel, now coming out and saying, oh, you guys out there, YouTube and you conspiracy theorists and anarchists. So if we question the government narrative, if we don't believe what they say and we look into things ourselves and present what we have seen and what we have discovered to the people, we're anarchists. Now, you guys know, if you guys are familiar with me and familiar with my channel, y'all know that I am an anarchist, right? Y'all know that my philosophy is, you know, I'm a voluntarist anarchist. That's what I am. So but I don't, how is it anarchy to provide an alternative view of what is going on or what the government has presented to you? How is that anarchistic? And if it is anarchistic, how is that a problem? That's not a problem. I think it's a great thing that people are behaving as anarchists on their YouTube channels and ignoring the government narrative and presenting their own point of view. And that actually is kind of like anarchy. But it's not anarchy the way that what Kash Patel believes is not anarchy. He believes that we are chaos agents out here creating problems. That's not anarchy at all. Nonetheless, so they want you to believe the government. They don't want you to question it. They want to shame you for trying to find different avenues or find different points of view or different aspects of this case that are very important. Steve says, when Obama is arrested, please remain calm. Why would I give a shit if Obama is arrested? If you're going to arrest Obama, then Donald Trump needs to be arrested. Joe Biden needs to be arrested. Every government official needs to be arrested. In that case, Marcy C, salute to Marcy. She says, money-minded, this man doesn't ask for money ever or support. He just asks you to like the video. Who's saying what? Money-minded? Y'all wilding up in here. I don't believe everything is important to question things, but it's also an issue for people questioning everything and reporting skewed things for support or money. Huh? You don't believe everything is important to question things, but it's also an issue for people to question everything. Make that make sense. You should question everything. You should question everything. See, this is the mentality that is this is the problem. People like myself are not the problem. My logic is flawed. Well, help me understand how to make my logic unflawed. What is the unflawed logic to oppose my logic? Salute to Brittany said. Salute to you, Queen. Question BLM. We're not talking about BLM. Exactly, Saddam Hussein. When do we question? Because if it was Joe Biden as president and leftist YouTubers were presenting the FBI narrative as the one that's right and true, y'all would be in here saying the opposite. Y'all are full of shit. This is called cognitive dissonance. It's bullshit. Help me understand how my logic is flawed and present your unflawed logic. I never supported BLM either. So you guys are up in here. Y'all think, oh, look, a black man talking shit. Oh, he must be a BLM supporter. It's completely illogical and fallacious. But I'm money-minded. I haven't asked anybody for any money. But I will ask for that like button. Hit the like button, y'all. All you got to do is double tap the screen. Salute to Margaret Mole. Salute to you, Queen. Salute to you. Jay Brownie. Salute. American Gal 69 says, the CIA murked Charlie. Well, I don't know who exactly murked Charlie, but I don't believe it was Tyler Robinson. So, the FBI, so Stephen Gardner wants you to believe the FBI narrative. And he wants you to believe him when he tells you that makes the most sense because he went to Utah, Valley University, twice. And he saw the terrain and, oh, it looks so different. You don't really understand if you use Google Maps and do this and that. Oh, you have no. Well, again, what is that proving? See, no one has presented any factual evidence that will lead you toward who done it definitively. No one has presented that at all. And here's one thing that I feel like Steve Gardner got shit fucked up. He's talking about how the Losi building is basically 3 stories between where Charlie was and where the Losi building was. On the roof. It's like 3 stories or something like that. And, you know, trying to get distance from Google Map, it ain't gonna work. Well, this is true because if you look at a 2D view of overhead map of that campus, and you look at where Tyler Robinson was supposed to be and where Charlie Kirk was, it says about 140 meters. Well, it's not just going to be 140 meters because now you have a gradient, right? So if a straight shot, it'll be 130, 145 or something like that. But, right, from here to here, right? But if it's like that, now you're adding, it's going to be a further distance because now it has to travel up and over, right? And so, yeah, that's true, but I don't, like, I just don't understand. It's okay to question the government. It's okay to question the narrative when it doesn't make fucking sense. And for you to come out, you haven't been able to make the FBI narrative make sense. You've only been trying to poke holes in everyone else's ideas or everyone else's theory, right? Everyone that tries to make sense of this. Everyone that comes out, whether they make money off of it or not, and tries to make sense of what happened and try to help other people understand what might happen, you think that's a problem. But you can't make the FBI narrative make sense. And you haven't proved Candace Owens wrong at all. right? And I'm about to get into that. Elizabeth Freeman says, I apologize, but there is something orange on your screen. Oh yeah, it's the screen is cracked. And so it's cracked across the lens. I gotta get it fixed. Blacks are still stuck on Charlie Kirk. Well, simpler times, it's not about Charlie Kirk. It's about how the government is handling this case. It's about how the FBI is handling this case. And it's about how if there's possible government involvement in the death of Charlie Kirk, that is a problem for everybody. Whether you see it now or not, Charlie Kirk was a polarizing figure. He influenced a lot of people, right? He has a lot of followers and a lot of people that rock with him. And he was close to Donald Trump, and he was basically a government shield. You know, I mean, he pushed the government narrative like he was a statist, right? If they could do that to one of their own people simply because, well, he wasn't willing to toe the line when it came to Israel committing genocide, that's a problem for everybody. Yes, including black folks. If you can't see it, I can't help you with that. I'm not about to sit up here and try to convince you. So yeah, that's why I'm talking about this, because it's bigger than Charlie Kirk, right? It's bigger than Charlie Kirk. Ryan says, I'm in the UK and I'm stuck on it. You should be. Everyone across the world should be stuck on this. They should be focused and paying attention to how the government is going to handle this. Now, you have Kash Patel calling people out for it. And the thing I was saying was, how is it that people out here in the world on YouTube talking about this case, how is that going to screw up any prosecutorial procedure? How is that going to screw up the defense's procedure to try to get Tyler Robinson off? Because everything that we see and everything they haven't shown us that they have, like maybe Tyler Robinson firing the weapon, the video of him changing his clothes and assembling the weapon on that roof. The things that they haven't shown us. Well, guess who it has to see it? Guess when it's actually going to be shown? It's going to be shown in court during discovery. All the evidence that the FBI has, all the evidence that the state police have, or the city police, or whoever's involved, they have to present and release all this stuff to the defense so that they can go through it, so that they can work on it and defend their client against any evidence that they might have. So the evidence is going to come out whether we see it or not. How is us seeing Tyler Robinson firing the shot from the roof, how is that going to affect his defense in any way? How is it going to affect the prosecution's case? Right? Because the jury has to see it. The judge has to see it. The defense has to see it. Prosecution has to see it. The people in the courtroom have to see it. They have to see the video. How is us seeing it going to change anything? So this whole idea, if they show you everything, it's going to affect the case in a negative way, and it's going to mess up the prosecution, it's going to mess up the defense. Well, we're not involved in the case. We're not the jury, we're not the judge, we're not the prosecution, we're not the defense. We're just the public. We're the public. And this is a high profile case, in a very public case. He was killed on national television, across the internet, on YouTube. Everybody has seen it. Right? They can show the video of Charlie Kirk getting killed. No problem. Right? They can release that. They can show that. That's being seen. Everybody across the world, they've been able to slow it down, zoom in, get details. If they can show that, then they can surely show Tyler Robinson on the roof taking a shot. How is that any different? Oh, this whole idea about, oh, YouTubers breaking it down, oh, that's going to mess up the case. Who gives a shit? It is what it is. This is what it is. This is the world we live in. But you have to present your evidence in court regardless. You're going to have your own experts. You're going to have ballistic experts. You're going to have video experts. You're going to have this expert, that expert, technological experts. All these people are going to weigh in court anyway. So the experts on YouTube are just doing what's going to be done by the defense, and people like Stephen Gardner, what they're doing is going to be done in a greater detail by the prosecution. The biggest concern from what I see is the prosecution's case getting fucked up, trying to pin it on Tyler Robinson. And that tells me something. Sam Hussein says they don't have a clear picture of the shooter, just an anonymous gunman. No, they don't. I agree. Queen Mother Shaquila, salute to you, Queen Mother Shaquila. I appreciate you for coming through. Moonlight 27 says, some hired to kill guy escaped, and some random fella who praised LGBT and Antifa. I know there are enough people who like to do this, but this was practically so well planned in so many cameras. Okay? No, if he's done like Steve Lee Harvey Oswald, that day in court don't come. That's a possibility as well. We just want transparency, not trans people. We need the right man in jail for this. Yeah, whoever's involved, that's what needs to happen. That's what I said, Taco Power Time Traveler. I think it's going to be a closed. I don't think it's going to be publicized because the judge has issued a gag order to 3,000 people. 3,000 witnesses have been issued. There's been a gag order placed on 3,000 people, and the journalism and the journalist or whatever. Yeah, they placed a gag order on. He tried to place a gag order on and everybody involved in the case. And what does that tell you about transparency? There won't be any transparency. If he's going to do that, it's probably going to be a closed trial. It's probably going to be a closed trial. Oh, somebody is whining about me talking. Let it go. You're just stirring up crap. I'm stirring up crap. I'm stirring up crap. Okay, help me understand how I'm stirring up crap. What crap am I stirring up? Help me understand. Yes, Jaw Brownie, it was a forced public defender. Yeah, from what I understand, there have been private lawyers that have tried to help Tyler Robinson, and they were told they can't do that. That the great state of Utah is going to choose his defense lawyer for him. That's from what I understand. You're an idiot. The judge is just trying to give a kid a fair trial. I'm an idiot. Explain how I'm an idiot. How is issuing a gag order for all these people, how is that going to help him he's going to have a fair trial regardless. The trial is going to be fair. How is that? Explain how I'm an idiot, and explain how issuing that gag order is giving him a fair trial or not giving him a fair trial. Because most of the people that are speaking out, some of those 3,000 witnesses, guess what? Many of them shit on that FBI narrative. Many of those people could probably help Tyler Robinson get a fair trial by speaking out and telling the Am I back? Romeo Lima Charlie. All right. Y'all, can y'all hit the like button, please? Hit that like button. I don't even know why I'm begging. Hit the like button. Y'all was waiting for me to come back, but you can't hit the like button. Let's double tap that screen. Give me over 100 likes. All right, salute. Thank you, guys. What are the 3,000 people saying? I have no idea. I mean, they have to talk to each and every one of those people. But I appreciate that, Kian Zaz C Wright. It's a long name. Thank you for subscribing. You can just double tap. Bam, bam. You can double tap the screen. For those of you who don't not know how to hit the like button, just double tap the screen and it works out. In my opinion, the shooter was in the crowd or closer. What's funny? I talked about that. Turek, Charlie Kirk's mentor. Initially, he did 2 different videos where he talked about where he heard the shot or where he believed he heard the shot from. The first time he said he thought the shot was close. The second time he's talking to this ex-pig and he says, oh, the shot was not close. Yeah, Frank Turek. Yeah, he said 2 different things. He said, oh, it was close the first time, and then the second time, oh, it wasn't close. It was far away. Who knows, man? But putting a gag order on 3,000 witnesses and journalists and this, that, and that person, that's not, how is that? That has nothing to do with a fair trial. It's a bunch of bullshit. They want to hang this dude or present it like they're going to hang this dude. I don't even know if Tyler Robinson isn't an actor that was hired by the government to be a patsy. And when salute to Taco Power Time Traveler, salute to you for the gift. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Vanessa says, exactly, salute to you, Vanessa. Okay, back to the discussion. The jury is part of the public. If they watch too much news and doesn't matter, already make up their decision, the jury can be manipulated. Well, they can sequester the jury. That has nothing to do with gag orders. They can sequester the jury. They can change the jury out. They haven't. No. It's up to the prosecution and the defense to make their argument convincing. This idea that trying to isolate the jury to the point where they can't have any communication and all this other shit, it's not realistic in the first place, right? It's not realistic. Yes, Marcy T, blindly following anybody is weak. Yeah, as far as I know, I mean, even if they select a jury, right? Not presenting certain things to the public does not, they already have access to all the shit that's already out there. Everything that all us anarchistic YouTubers have discussed is already out there in the public. Yes. Oh, so, they select juries and they go through a jury selection process. The prosecution and the defense will choose jury. I mean, it is what it is. This whole idea, us blasted YouTubers, we doing too much, we're gonna fuck up their case. Well, they have to prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt anyway. So if they have enough of a case and enough evidence to pin it on Tyler Robinson and convict him, it doesn't matter what we say. They're going to have the evidence and the witnesses. They're going to corroborate. They're going to put things together beyond a shadow of a doubt. Sure. And that's how that's supposed to work. But if there is a shadow of a doubt, well, the jury has a duty and a responsibility to find him innocent. If there is any shadow of a doubt, he has to be said to be innocent. They have it's up if the burden of proof is on the prosecution. Doesn't matter what YouTubers do. It doesn't matter what witnesses say or witnesses or journalists. Journalists, the idea of journalism is to put information out into the public and give them information. That's the point behind journalism. The journalism, you don't keep journalists quiet. And number one, and also, it is a violation of Utah Constitution. The judge has no legal right to put a gag order on so many people. It is what it is. The judge, that's what the judge saying, but he's not gonna be able to do that. Yes, plenty have been found guilty with less evidence. Well, it's up to the prosecution to prove that it's false information. It's not up to YouTubers to not contemplate and think and question and theorize. We have a right to theorize. You know that, right? We have a right to question the government. We have the right to question the narrative. We're only looking at and detailing and breaking down what is available to us. It is what it is. Point blank and period. False information. The FBI has put out false information. The FBI's information, their narrative does not make any sense. But no one's calling the FBI a conspiracy theorist. No one is calling Cash Patel a conspiracy theorist or a liar for saying that he caught Tyler Robinson. No. They're lying about his father turning him in. No. A family friend convinced him to turn himself in. The FBI didn't catch nobody. Tyler Robinson turned himself in, but they told y'all that they caught this guy in 33 hours. They didn't catch a motherfucking thing. So they lied to you left and right. But we're supposed to keep our mouth shut. Oh, don't talk about what may have really happened to Charlie Kirk. I'll be right back, y'all. I got to relieve myself. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Just so you guys know, I'm not, I'll be right back. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Hit the like button. I don't know why you ain't doing it yet. All you got to do is double tap the screen. All right, I'm back. Double tap the screen, y'all. Bro looks like Kane Brown with a beard. Who's Kane Brown? Who are these people? Yeah, there are a lot of crybabies in the bot community. You're absolutely right. The shooter is a digital person and never existed in 3 dimensions. Well, you never know what they can do with technology nowadays. Some people, I'm Terry from suburbs of Chicago. How are you guys this morning? Salute to you. Okay, country singer. I look like everybody according to y'all. Some of y'all say I look like some wrestler. Now I look like a country singer. But anyway, yeah, this gag order is bullshit. Stephen Gardner is full of shit. He's firmly in the pocket of the government. And you know, at the I'm disappointed in that dude, man. But what can you do? You know, I mean, you gotta rock with which bread your butters your bread. You know what I'm saying? People know where their bread is buttered, and they stick to that. Salute to Vanessa. Oh, I appreciate. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Vanessa. Thank you. But think about it. Why is everybody so up in arms against you? Why are the YouTubers the problem? You have to ask the question, right? Why are you, you damn YouTubers, you conspiracy theorists? Sell your soul, become a puppet. Exactly. I refuse. Yeah. Think about it. Why are the YouTubers the problem? Why are all of a sudden YouTubers so instrumental in destroying a case? Destroying the prosecution's case? Destroying the FBI's case? Could it be because the FBI is full of shit? Is it because what they're presenting is not rocking, is not going to roll? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's all we're doing is we want to know the truth, because they don't want us to think it's important. They want us to believe, they want to keep us divided on this, right? I'm supposed to hate Charlie Kirk because he was a racist bigot, right? He's a racist bigot. What do you care? Why should your black ass care? Well, it may be or may not be true that Charlie Kirk was a racist bigot, but I don't care about that, because he had the right to free speech and to say whatever he wanted to say. And good, because you want these people to say what they want to say and show you who they are. But I'm not just going, if the FBI is lying about how and why Charlie Kirk was killed and who killed him, then guess what? I have a problem with that. Yeah, I got a problem with that. Because like I said, if they can do it to Charlie Kirk, and they did it to JFK, they did it to Martin Luther King, they did it to Malcolm X. You know, if they can manipulate the truth around it, if they present you a narrative they want you to believe, and they can get away with it, then that's the problem, right? Exactly. Slim Hussein is legal murder. But see, they didn't think that so many people were going to come together and call them out for the lies they're telling about Charlie Kirk's death. Because we're not supposed to care, because we some black ass motherfuckers, right? The left isn't supposed to care. Black folks ain't supposed to care. And it will be easier, if that were the case, then it would be easier for them to manipulate the folks on the right with their front runners, like Stephen Gardner, Brandon Tatum, and all them cats like that. They could easily handle, oh, okay, they're on the right, they're questioning it a little bit, but we can manipulate them. No, you can't manipulate everybody. You have no influence over the left. You have no influence over people like me. You have no influence over people that you thought would stand in the pocket, but they're not standing in the pocket with this narrative. Like, especially like those veterans, those special forces guys, and all that, those snipers. Of course, you got the snipers and the ex-military guys that are rocking with the FBI narrative. but they're not really proving the FBI narrative. They're working hard trying to disprove YouTube narratives that go against the FBI narrative. So wherever they can find a hole in a YouTuber's theory, oh, they'll work on that. They're not shoring up the FBI narrative because they can't. They can't. And when they try, they fail miserably. And so this is what it is. We're not supposed to care about Charlie Kirk. Only the right. Only the right-wing individuals are supposed to care about Charlie Kirk. And if they were the only ones who cared, they'll be easier to manipulate, right? Can't do that when everybody cares. Especially when it comes to what's going on with Israel and Gaza right now. How the timeline, the very interesting timeline that leads up to Charlie Kirk's death. Yeah, that's the problem they having. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, there are a lot of Green Berets that are cooking the narrative. Dick Grayson, I have no idea. Stephen Gardner says that Candace Owens is wrong, but he hasn't proved anybody wrong. He just says, oh, she's wrong because I got on the roof in 10 seconds. You know, I've been to Utah and the Utah Valley University, and the terrain is a whole lot different than people understand on Google Maps. And it doesn't, he hasn't proven Candace wrong about nothing. Marcia T says, you stirring up crack, exposing the government lies and always have lied. So I guess this fool thinks that starting some crap, he needs to go to school. Oh. $7,000 a post. Yeah. I'm pretty sure there are other posters and content creators that are getting more money than that have a lot more influence. It's wild. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to get up out of here. Oh, man. I got some shit to get done. Lack of evidence is not evidence. No, it's not. And also, you can't prove a negative. So you can't prove something doesn't exist. Doesn't make sense. Just like when they blow up those tiny boats, thereby destroying any evidence that may have been that there were drugs on that boat. But then when you talk about that, when you say the FBI or the government hasn't proven that there were drugs on that boat, and people's counter argument is prove that there wasn't. You can't prove there wasn't. You can't prove there wasn't. If there weren't drugs on that boat, there's nothing to prove. The burden of proof is on the people that are accusing, that are making the accusation that there were drugs on that boat. It's not up for the person who doesn't believe it to prove that there wasn't. It doesn't make sense. You can't prove a negative. You can't prove nothing exists, right? You can't prove it. But if you think it exists, if you believe it exists, now it's up to you to prove that it does exist. Salute to a name Dina. Salute to you. I appreciate you. You got to do some research, man. What the hell? Research on what? No, Marcy T, don't delete it. I want him to tell me what research do I need to do. Spooky Space says Stalin had his best homie taken out just so he had a reason. Well, there you go. No sound. No sound, y'all. Y'all can't hear me? Okay, you got sound now? Okay. I don't understand why Charlie would they get out, eliminate him. Well, Charlie Kirk said 2 days before he died that he had no choice but to pull his support from the pro-Israel cause. And then the day before that, according to Candace Owens, 3 people told her that he thought they were going to kill him. Yeah. But Stephen Gardner hasn't proven that wrong at all. Stephen Gardner hasn't proven that Candace Owens was wrong about that. Stephen Gardner hasn't been able to prove that Candace Owens was wrong about Charlie Kirk pulling his support. Stephen Gardner can't prove anything wrong because he doesn't have the information. He doesn't have enough facts or information to prove anything wrong. That's it. Period. Dude, you need to get out of your car. Okay, you can go bye-bye. I don't understand why you have to. Yeah. You don't have to be here. How do you prove that wrong other than bringing Charlie back? Well, you can't. Charlie would go anti-Israel at turning point, and Israel can't have that happening. Well, that's what I think. But I don't know for a fact. More information has to come out. And more may never come out. You never know. These people, they suppress information. They suppress any information that will go against what they want or what their agenda is. So anyway, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. Am I talking about Mossad? Mossad has certain possibilities, certain capabilities that, Mossad's intelligence apparatus is on point. Let's just say that. Yes, long live Palestine. Salute to y'all, though. I appreciate you guys for coming through. Please double tap that screen on the way out. If you guys aren't familiar how to hit the like button up in here, all you got to do is double tap the screen. You don't have to look for a up button or down button. All you got to do is double tap that screen, man. I appreciate that, Slim Hussein. I will. Salute to you, Vanessa. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for coming through. Thank you to anyone who subscribed and all that good stuff. I really appreciate you. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. Thank y'all for hanging out. Thank you to anyone who had any disagreement. I appreciate that as well. In here, we don't rock with echo chambers. I allow people to have their disagreements as long as they have the disagreements and aren't just saying some crazy wild shit. Salute to Brittany said. I appreciate you for always being here. Thank you. You guys have a wonderful day. Y'all stay frosty. Y'all go out there, exercise, train. Make sure you guys are working towards self-sufficiency. That's my suggestion. Salute to Realize. Thank you for coming through. No problem, Realize. No problem. Do some research on his wife. I've seen some things about his wife. Yeah, some interesting things about his wife. For now, I'm leaving the wife alone. God knows what she got going on. You know what I'm saying? She might be under some immense pressure, or she might be instrumental. You never know. She might be under constant threat, or she might be happy and elated. She might be, you never know. So anyway, but I do think that she knows a lot more about what happened to Charlie Kirk and just is not telling us. So it could be she's not saying anything because her life is under threat, or because, the other option. So you never know. Anyway, thank you guys. Much love. Like, share, subscribe. And let's keep marching forward toward freedom and truth. Stay frosty. And pretty soon I'm going to be bringing you guys some information about solutions to decouple yourself from government, right? Step-by-step processes. So we'll look forward to that. Much love. Like, share, subscribe.